What up? This is Rama Screen, and in the anticipation of Me, You Madness, which arrives on digital February 12th, I'm here talking with the stars of this new film, Louise Linton and Ed Westwick. Louise is also the director. Louise and Ed, how are you?
Great. How are you, Rama?
Good, good, good. Thank you for taking the time. Congrats on the film. Let me start with you, Louise, since you are the brains of this operation. I know your character mentioned or referenced American Psycho, but what was the inspiration behind Me You Madness, and specifically your character Catherine Black? What made you want to write this story down in the first place?
I've always been a fan of the femme fatale genre. And, I've just been captivated by so many of these characters that we've seen, whether it's Jean Tierney in Leave Her to Heaven, or Barbara Stanwyck in Double Indemnity, or Gloria Swanson in Sunset Boulevard, which is, I watched all these movies and I love them so much. I was really influenced by watching Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct as a teenage girl. And I wanted to write sort of a female, a femme fatale, but with a bit of wit and comedy.
Awesome. And Ed, how did you get on board this project, and what was your reaction when you first read Louise's script?
My manager called me and she knew Louise and asked me to take a look at the script. I took a look at it. I giggled all the way through and was very, very curious about it. So I went and met with Louise and was totally blown away by her vision for the film and by her warm personality. And I saw this as being like a really, really great chance for me to show another type of side to my performing. I love comedy. I like to be a goofball, and I kind of got that opportunity with this film. So, after spending some time talking about the script and talking about the characters, I signed on and we went for it. And I just had the best time, and I think that all kind of comes through in the film. The rapport that we had, the banter that we had, and just the wackiness that is Me Madness.
Follow up on that, Ed. Your character Tyler is very fascinating. He's this thief who ends up falling for Catherine Black. How would you describe Tyler? Is he naive, or is he a reckless abandon type of person?
I think he's the nicest guy in the world if you forgive the crime, and would do absolutely anything for love. And that'll get you into some strange situations sometimes. But no, I think ultimately, he's a man who will do anything for his heart. And Catherine comes along and sweeps him off his feet.
Luis, back to you. My God, that Malibu house is breathtaking. That looks like a house that I own only in my dreams. So, talk to me about shooting the film in that logistics, because it seems that you had so much fun, doing 80s workout and
Yeah.
the chainsaw and blood squirting everywhere at that place. Talk to me about that.
So I had seen that house once upon a time in a film several years ago. And when I started writing this script, I just knew that was where I wanted to shoot because it's so beautiful. And it really is representative of the character as well, because Catherine is very modern, she's very tough, she's very cold, she's very minimalist, and that house just, trust me, I dream of living there too. It's just so beautiful. So I wrote the script specifically for that location.
On that note, the awesome 80s song selections in this film, how did you come to decide on which songs to include? And was it challenging to acquire the permission from those artists?
Yeah, so music is so important to me. And when I'm writing, I actually am listening to these songs and I write along as I'm listening to the music. So the music from day one was so critical to this film because it's a character, And also, so many of these songs are nostalgic for people. And, the film is an homage and a love story to the 80s, really, and or a love letter to the 80s, I should say. And so, I wanted to have things in the film that would remind you of Footloose or Flashdance or any of the John Hughes movies. That was really, really important to me. So I hope people are dancing along as they're watching watching the film and singing along and having fun.
All right, fun question. Settle this once and for all, both of you. What's the difference between sofa and a couch?
It's definitely a sofa.
The couch.
It's sofa.
So also, there are many favorite scenes of mine. My favorite scene, number one, is in the garage with the body parts, as you're telling us whose body those belong to, and the face on, the reaction on Tyler's face was just priceless. Both of you, talk to me about what's your process in creating your on-screen dynamic between your characters, and what's it like collaborating with each other?
It started day one, right? I mean, as soon as we met, we just kind of got along, and you know, um, it was obvious from the start it was going to be like a collaborative effort, and I loved that because any idea I had, I felt I was in a safe enough place where I could like say it, and Louise absolutely took it on board, and we just you had that trust with each other, and we weren't afraid to like laugh or say anything or anything really. So that all kind of poured into it. It was a safe space. It was a playground. So all of that is so important, and it comes across, I think, in film.
One of my favorite movies is His Girl Friday because I love the fast, speedy banter back and forth, the ping pong. And as Ed and I started to rehearse, that just came so naturally to us. And we had so much fun playing these characters, but we were laughing on screen and off. I mean, we just had such a good rapport and became really great friends. Ed is a brilliant comedic actor, and we have a lot of fun banter all the time.
Yeah, that blew my mind because as I was watching, I was like, how did they keep a straight face through those scenes? I was like, just amazing. I mean, you guys did so well.
Straight face.
I know at the essence of it, you just want your audiences to have a great time watching Me You Madness, and I'm sure they will. I certainly did. But is there an underlying theme to Me You Madness? What does this movie say about romance between two economically different people? Because Catherine and Tyler are, they're great looking, so appearance-wise, there's attraction there, but they're from the opposite ends of the spectrum as far as the haves and the have-nots.
This movie is all about love. And what I want people to take from this film is that love can melt even the coldest of hearts. And love can spring up in the most unusual of places. And that's really what the film is about.
Yeah, I think sometimes, what it shows is that if you can just get past yourself and forget about yourself, someone will take you on a journey, take your heart on a journey. And that's the greatest adventure of all.
All right. For my fans at home, go check out Me You Madness, arriving on digital February 12th. Louise and Ed, thank you for talking to me. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mama. Have a great day. Bye.